I'm Jorie. I'm gonna be your nurse today, providing for privacy over here. I'm just gonna wash my hands. Can I have you verify your name and date of birth? Okay, good. He does so and it matches. Are you allergic to anything? He says no. Then that also matches, which is good. Okay, so today what I'm gonna be doing is changing your chest tube dressing per the doctor's orders. Have you ever had this done before? He says that he has, so he's familiar with it and able to follow my directions, which is good. Okay, so what I'm going to start off by doing is just getting some gloves on here so I can remove that old dressing. Okay, so I'm just going to undo your gown a little bit here, but I'll keep the rest of you covered up. And I'm looking at the outside of the dressing and it does look fine. No drainage, redness, anything going on. So I'm just going to start out by removing it and making sure that I'm anchoring the tube, because I obviously don't want that to be pulled out as I am removing this. And I'm going to pull towards the middle. Okay, and I'm going to get off. Okay, so now I would want to look at the drainage that's on this dressing and note its color, consistency, amount, if there's any odor going on, and I would want to document that. And I would want to get rid of it in my biohazard bag, but for this purpose we will reuse this, so I'm just going to set it over to the side here. So after I do that, I'm going to come back to the dressing site and observe for any redness, edema, and I'm going to palpate and look for any crepitus going on. And everything does look okay. It looks like he's got some, obviously the stitches there. If there were crepitus found, what I would want to do is outline it with a Sharpie so the next nurse that would come in would be aware of this and be able to see if it's spread or not at all. Okay, so now that I'm done with that, I'm just going to take my gloves off and wash my hands. Okay. Peel open my applicators here. Oh dear. Okay. Rid of those. Rid of those. Okay. Now I'm going to put on another pair of gloves. Okay, and if agency called for it, I could apply my skin prep and I would go around where the dressing would be placed. Now I'm going to take my applicators here and I'm going to hold the tube, making sure that it stays anchored, and I'm just going to clean as best as I can around it here. Okay, rid of those, and using the no-touch technique again, I'm just going to clean one more time. Okay, good. So now that that is all clean, I'm going to get rid of my gloves again and wash my hands. And I'm just going to get a couple things prepared here by opening up my gauze pads, as well as my gauze that has my petroleum jelly on it here. gloves. Those on. There we go. Okay. Move this to the side here. Now that I've got my sterile gloves on, I'm going to make sure that my hands do not drop below my waist. So I'm going to start out by taking my petroleum jelly and I want to coil it up like this. Okay, and I'm going to leave this hand sterile and this one clean so I'm able to touch the tube just to make it a little bit easier to place this. It's a little sticky here. Okay, now that I've got that, I'm going to take my split gauze and I'm going to put one under here, without touching the middle and keeping this nice and anchored, and then I'm going to take the next one and just place it over the top. And then I've got my other gauze pad, keeping sterile here. Making sure that is on. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my tape and place one here. Another roll. How are you doing, Bob? He says that he's comfortable, doing okay, no complaints. We're almost finished here. One more roll. Okay. So now that that is all covered and the dressing has been changed, I would make sure to initial it, date it, and time for the next nurse to see so they know when it needs to be changed again. Just gonna get them all covered back up here and get rid of these gloves and wash my hands once again. And I would be sure to dispose of my supplies in the appropriate places. Make sure that Bob is comfortable, give him his call light, get his bed low, and he already is in a semi-Fowler's position, but if he was not, I would want to get him up in that position. And then I would want to document my assessment findings and how Bob tolerated it, and if I would need to, I could modify it across the lifespan. That is all.